talk about the World card, which is the 22nd card, the last card in the Major Arcana, the 22nd Hebrew letter, and the final letter in the Hebrew alphabet. Woman is dancing. Joy is at the root of the world's creation, but we lose wisdom if we seek creative joy over truth. One wand of Maya brings mirages, and the other swirls away delusion. Again, this is the final letter in the Hebrew language, the 22nd letter. It's called Tav, and it became Omega. So, in the Greek, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Tav means truth, mark, sign, signature, completion. And when we're seeking truth, we can taste it, chew it, and digest it. Those are the three prajnas. Do we want spiritual truth for the experience, the taste of it, or do we want to move beyond concept and experience to bring a transformation, digestion, integration of who we are? Do we want to chew over spiritual concepts, or are we open to having both our DNA, our cells, our innards, our guts, our bones melt, boil, disintegrate to an alchemically inspired reintegration at a higher level to become something new, like the butterfly that comes out of the caterpillar? Caterpillar collapses, falls apart. Are we willing to hand over how long it takes, and if it even goes away, if the delusion dissolves? It may take lifetimes, it may never happen. It's not our business. This is not passivity, this is receptivity and surrender. If we crave an intensity of an experience, or we want to have an identity as one who has had an experience, then we're craving that more than the truth. So we're unlikely to have a revelation, and that's good because the ego would just use it. So if we do have a revelation, we're going to use it to address any fears and desires, any shadow, unconscious material. And we're also going to try to reaffirm our identity as great, and we're going to be focusing on linear time. The force of impact that you have during a spiritual experience doesn't necessarily conform to its authenticity, because an illusion can bowl you over, but a true revelation from above can come as a nearly imperceptible whisper or a slight, subtle shift in perspective. We can say that unity with the divine doesn't come from God nor man imposing through force, yang, but more often is about coming from holding still, being surrendered and open, the yin receptivity. Not passive, but seems like passivity. It's more like you're just accepting. If we're calm and silent, open to the depth of the soul, perhaps only there does spiritual truth reveal itself. So that which excites us the most is perhaps the most suspect, as the ego is what's excited. So in this figure, the dancer, one of her hands is the wand of truth, the other the means of joy through intoxication, the craving or experience of mirage revelations that, with grandiosity, elevate your significance. We see this often happening in spiritual and religious communities where someone has a vision and they use it to put themselves in the center, and they're suddenly a very significant person because they had this vision. So humans can use the will of the lion and dare to seek elevation and fly like an eagle, but then we are silent like the bull. So that silence is that third step, which would prevent that kind of ego grandiosity through the mythology that you're inventing or the vision that you had. So we want to be willful and ambitious if we're going to reach that, right? We're going to get out of the tamas to move into the rajas. But then with maturity, hopefully we can be reflective, balanced, and reserved. And so we go from one side of the tree filled with purpose to find limits, or if we're fixed in limits, we escape and go beyond the limits through purpose. It's a balance between the two. So we can see man as the intersection of the divine, faith, inspiration, unification. But three colors on the garland surrounding the central figure. Blue is often associated with tamas or passivity, but we also associate that with yin receptivity, red rajas activity, yellow neutral sattva. The blue passivity and yin are both aligned with latency and what's unmanifest. It's just that with tamas you're trying to prevent manifestation, and in a pure yin state it just has an openness so that manifestation can happen. So it's a change of attitude. Red, we associate that not with passivity, but activity, and the yang, and what's already manifest. So yellow is the equilibrium and paradox. If you look at the chart, you'll see that yin associated with winter, we link that to the bardo. That's the pure receptive. And yang is both yang, two lines of yang, we associate that with the summer. But in the call, especially if you're open to confusion, And in return, if you're not judging, grasping, full of regret, then it's more sattvic, and it's a mixture of the yin and yang. At the call, the yin is on top, and in the fall, the yang is on top. The gunas, tamas, rajas, and sattva, are the modes of manifestation of the four elements. When we seek truth, not the experience of it as being a person having the truth, it's sattva. And actions are performed without attachment, desire, fear, nor aversion. We may pick fruit, but not from needing to eat it, or it may fall into our laps, like Newton. With rajasic action, we want truth, but we really only want it because we want to eat the truth. We want to take some action to be seen as powerful. So it's the ego. We're addicted to the delusion of rescue in the future. And this rajasic action and the rescue is often about image in the future. So it's about time moving forward, evolution, improvements, upgrades, revolutions. With tamas, however, it's inaction, not action. And we deny there's fruit, or we don't seek it. And if we have it, we toss it away due to fear of ego death. It could be feeling hopeless. We're addicted to the delusion of victimhood for all time. So the tamas is about infinite non-changing, and the rajas is about constant changing. Both are partial truth, and we can see that when they mix together. We're now with sattva. We're not addicted to the delusion of victimhood, no rescue. We're free from attachment, and we treat the ego as an errant child with two faces: negative adaptive child, negative free child. Because there's less resistance and need to have or deny control, we have more energy, and we are unmoved both in success and failure. With rajas, we get jealous, we covet, we may charm, be cruel, we want joy and blame. We want to ascribe joy and blame to external forms. We want to know who or what to blame for our sorrow and our fear, and we fear the finite aspect of time. We fear the end is coming too soon. With tamas, we lack the hope and energy to do any seeking, and rather than being cruel, as we might be in rajas, we feel that others are cruel. So we have less empowerment. We have a love-hate relationship with idleness, procrastination, because we fear eternal time. We fear nothing ending. So rajas is a fear that time's ending too soon, and tamas is afraid things are never going to change. So one is focused on change, and one is in. We need both in balance to have appropriate growth that is balanced.